And so it is. Game 2 now well underway. Impunity.storm versus KaiD. Game 1 ended so prematurely. It's like 30 seconds after the CC mark, they just called it quits. So KaiD, they just got completely steamrolled in Game 1. I do believe it's a drafting problem, like everyone else could probably tell as well. That said, Game 2, I do hope that they don't make the same mistake. This is Babael. Joining you today is also Lark.
Yeah, it was a really quick CC to see right there coming from KaiD against Superior Storm, and again, it did closely relate to the fact that their draft wasn't as good, and the laning as well was just completely all over the place. This seems like it's gonna be a better game though. A lot of quick picks though, but let's just jump right into the banning.
Yep, there we go. In the banning phase, we got nicely banned out here. That's gonna be the Moon Queen ban from New Paris Loka straight away. Sandwave, Ophelia, and Fate. So 10% Keeper being available, they will split sides in this kind of game. New Paris Loka with the first pick gonna go for the Tempest, whereas Hellborn there's gonna be a Keeper, following which is gonna be the MOA plus the Engineer, also gonna split sides and Bubbles on Team Legion. That's really nice to see because now Murph without the Bubbles, I do believe that it's not gonna be a big deal because Murph will play the Keeper in the suicide like she normally plays. That's the kind of role that she normally is going to play in this kind of a team so far. That said, I do believe that they will also have the Revenant to work with for this kind of a game, but are they going to pick that one first, or do they want to pick Nox carry first? That is the question.
I think they can go for the carry later and then just have the Revenant pick up first because I think they really want to secure that mid lane. Like mid lane is usually the place where the lane that sets the pace of the game. So they want to make sure that they secure a good mid hero because they have the support from engineer already. They have keeper, and this is gonna be more of like that jungle game. Hellburn team by all means can still go for much more aggression with dual supports. I think uh, having that ability, like something like even in Luna to help against the counter from, I mean, just to help counter against the Tempest with, the creeps. They're actually gonna go for a straight up prisoner for who is this Emperor, and I don't think it's probably the strongest hero on Emperor right now. Like he always like I wouldn't say that he's not good at hooks. It's just more or less like the problem in terms of when he decides to hook people in and which targets to hook in. Because sometimes it actually ends up hurting them in the end. Like they just put a bomb in themselves. So hopefully this time around there won't be those mistakes. I do believe that he has that in mind himself. But yeah, currently both teams they have decent drafts so far. But definitely like the prisoner here because it will kind of counter the bubbles and his shoulder.
Yes, it will, and that's it. It is pretty good, and it's interesting to see that Prisoner being picked up. It is one of, I would say Emperor lands pretty well his hooks, so it is pretty good to see that kind of hero on him as well. That's it. The second benefit is completed already. It's gonna be the War Beast, Pestilence, Dampier, and the Lodestone as well. We still got two more heroes that hasn't been addressed just yet. I do believe the new Pasoka is just taking a bit of a awkward banning kind of situation because it doesn't really know what Nox normally plays. So he's gonna ban the Dampier and the Gemini, which are by all means correct heroes. But War Biz is a little bit too questionable. I don't see it being pulled out of the Hellborn's hats anytime soon. So that is pretty good. That said, however, because the Moon Queen already been banned in the first banning phase, I would definitely like to see what kind of hero that Nox is going to play for this kind of game. I would say the Dark Lady is pretty good. He has played Dark Lady before and has failed before, has succeeded before. It's generally not due to his fault or stuff like that. It's more or less because of the fact that his team wasn't able to just support him, despite the fact that he's got pretty good GPM. I mean, even in those games that Nox didn't do so well, he had GPM of above level 500. So that is pretty good, and that is something that you can dispute coming from Nox.
Yeah, and I think a Wretched Hag pickup here in this game would be perfect for him because that just ties in really nicely with the Keeper of the Forest. They have
Mm-hmm.
already a lot of physical damage from I was about to say Noxa, but from Prisoner 9 for 5, which is going to be played by Emperor, and you have good burst potential because you have the root to lock them down. You have energy field to work with as well. So a Bat Blast on top of that will just be really, really nice. And I do like the fact that if they're going to pick this Torture on top of that, that would be very, very good for them. They're not. They actually banned out Kraken as their last ban there. Not so sure why they decided to do that. I mean, Kraken is still pretty good in the mid lane, especially with the fact that they are running a Tempest, so that just means double suction, like I always say, and they're just gonna get sucked in even that much more faster and probably even be damaged even quickly. My God, hell. But yeah, they're gonna go with a rally instead, and they actually gonna opt for a jungle role. So Parasite is actually very, very good in this kind of situation because it will cancel out Tempest even if it does have the Trunken head.
Yes, that is correct, and that said, it seems like it's gonna be the Parasite being picked up here. Parasite is gonna address Tempest very well, and that is gonna be really scary because, well, Tempest doesn't have much space to farm if you have aggressive Parasite on your ass, and that is really bad to see. But in general, it's gonna be a Puppet Master carry from Team Legion, and I'm just excited to see how that's gonna work out because Puppet Master is very viable, but it's not played in this Southeast Asian scene as often as I would like to see it. And that is, in general, a lot of extra stuff happening there on Team Legion side. So the lineup already completed there, and a lot of aggression actually happening on that part. They don't have the engine to work with, and that's a little bit sad to see, but they will have the MOA plus the Tempest. I actually thought that Engineer plus Tempest is going to be double devastating, but they don't have that. That's going to be fine. And it's going to be a Blood Hunter. Wow. And that would be
Hmm.
really interesting to see. Blood Hunter or Nox, never really seen that before, but, well, who knows? That could be pretty good.
I don't like it. I mean, like Richard Hag was free in this game, not banned, not picked. Should have just taken it. Be much more safe. I mean, maybe they have a strategy going into this. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Blood Hunter's a pretty strong hero because of that. You know, just the way his abilities work, hemorrhage, but he's not that great in terms of a team fight perspective. Like you want to have that burst potential, especially on top of a keeper's root, and the fact that you have prisoner 9 for 5 as well. Like that prison break on top of a keeper root on top of a bad blast can just spell the doom of Legion team in just one quick just a couple of quick seconds during that lockdown. But I don't know, I guess they just want to be really much more aggressive, so that's why they decided to take the Blood Hunter first. And there is still a lot of kill potential. The only time that I've really actually seen Blood Hunter being run was when Hexfrin actually played it over at I think I don't know if it was during Complexity's time or during TMSR now. I'm not too sure about that, but yeah, there was one time where I actually saw that being played, and I think it was even a scrim. I don't even think it was a match, but it had a lot of success because you know when you go for a Blood Hunter, you like that Mock of Villains pickup. It's just gonna constantly mean that you are gonna get your life back to full most of the time because of the way that his what is it, the feast works. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. That's going to use this moment right now to introduce the players as well as team on Team Legion. It is going to be KaiD from Thailand, and Nupas Dorgrak going to be the captain and the drafter. He is going to be the puppet master. We got Peter 994, and that would be the MOA. Rally on Luke there, and Okamgu gonna be playing as the jungle this time around. He's gonna be the Tempest. We got Bubbles being played by Ben 6 as well. That's it from the Hellbourne side. It's gonna be impunity.storm, also residing in Thailand. Nova there is gonna be the engineer. We got Parasite being played by Bass Storm, and that's the new alternate avatar. Really good to see that Nano Parasite. Nox gonna be playing as the Blood Hunter, and that is interesting, refreshing nonetheless, and definitely very good to see once in a while. And we also have got Murph playing as the Suicide. That would be the Keeper of Forest. Last but not least, Emperor going to be playing in the mid lane, and that would be the Prisoner 945.
Yep, and right off the bat, you see that they didn't even stack Rishon on Blood Hunter because of the fact that he has that feast ability, so they don't really need to. I think they did stack it for Emperor at the middle lane because you can see right there, yeah, borrowing from ImpS Nova. So yeah, he got stacked Rishon. I think he just wants to rush for a quick bottle. Parasite is gonna be able to infest this Minotaur. Oh, did it? Did it just actually morph? Yeah, that's pretty cool. So that's the effect of the avatar right there.
Yeah,
That's
but it's not invisible, so don't get it wrong there.
yeah, I didn't actually know that that does that. So, but anyways, that's really cool. They're gonna go ahead and just stack both these camps right here, and that will just mean that a new set of creeps. Yep, a skeleton king is always very nice for a parasite to set up a gank, even the wild hunter. But usually you'd like to have that nuke before you actually go in. It's a blood hunter and engineer lane against a puppet master, master of
Yeah.
arms. So again, like Legion team, the way that they drafted the lanes was it's so weird. Like just have rally top, have your you know your conventional short carry, a short lane carry with that what's his name puppet master bot, because he's gonna definitely own the keeper of the forest with his auto attacks. So don't really
Yep.
agree with the wording, not the wording, the laning again.
Yeah, that is correct, and that's it. Well, it's nice to see that Nova actually rotated the top lane once he knows that in the mid lane it's only gonna be that bubbles there. That being said, now it seems like top lane a little bit of engagement happening. Kek's not the best, but it is gonna have to deal. They are gonna have to deal with that. That's a Puppet Master is gonna land a little bit of extra critical hit on the Parasite. Parasite is taking a little bit of beating there. And a little bit of a pseudo tri-lane happening here at the top part of this map for Team Hellborn. Definitely is going to be a lot more favorable than initial one, where it's going to be a dual mid with Nova and Emperor as usual. That's it. However, I would definitely want to see extra levels on Nox, and Nova's going to have to be extra careful just to make sure that Nox gets those levels. They want to make sure that he is safe, but not too safe. And that's it. The extra stun there from Lyric is going to land on the Puppet Master, and Puppet Master now a little bit of trouble there. Silence going on in full swing, and Puppet Master is definitely going to drop there. Feeding a Bloodlust is the carry from Team Legion, and Nox going to pick that one up. So definitely can see that the Blood Hunter effect is already coming in so soon into this game.
Yep, that Blood Hunter, man. And he doesn't even have a point into Blood Sense yet. So that's really, really good coming out for the team. He does finally actually get one right there because he reached level 3. So it's 1-1 and 1 right now. I think he's definitely going to go for more levels into the Blood Crazy because that deals a lot of damage. A lot of lingering damage. It's a dot damage over there, so that should be very good for him. Middle lane, actually, we haven't talked much about it. Emperor is not doing as well, I think, against this Bubbles. If you look at the stats, like Emperor's 11-0, Bubbles is at 11 and 5, so he's having more denies right here. And like Emperor and Prisoner is just taking a lot of harass. He's already forced to use all his bottle charges.
That is correct, and now Rally, the bottom lane, is going to have to face up against Keeper. Keeper doing a lot of good work here as well. Getting sizable amount of levels, and that is interesting to see. That's it, however, it seems like top lane, Puppet Master at only level 2 as compared to level 4 on Blood Hunter already. That is really regrettable. That's it, however, don't forget that Puppet Master definitely has got pretty good skills as well. The Puppet Hole plus the Puppet Show, both of them are able to mount a pretty good amount of just disable. We can say it's not really a stun, but it does hold in a particular spot. It does get you a little bit disorientated, and that is good to see. That said, however, mid lane, Bubbles against that, a Prisoner 945. Who do you think actually will win this lane?
Well, as you can see right now, Bubbles is already winning, and I would also have agreed that even if this wasn't happening, that Bubbles will still have the upper hand because, I mean, it's always a range versus a melee lineup, and Bubbles actually has decent attack damage during the early start of the game. Plus, he has the quick mobility there with the Shell Surf. He's actually gonna see, just like that, he wins the race towards the bottom lane. But the thing is, there's no what is this rune down there, so it's kind of hilarious to see. But yeah, I mean, Prisoner just being that strength hero, and the fact that even his spells cost a lot. So if he misses a hook, he's gonna waste a lot of mana. It's gonna force him to use at least like 2 bottle charges to actually be able to use another hook after that.
Yeah, that's it. It's Invisible Parasite at the top part of this map, but he is going to go back to his jungle to farm, and that is very good to see. We will all definitely love to see a very aggressive Parasite, but in this kind of a game, you need to make sure the Parasite does have the extra items before we go into the meat stages, because that's going to help Blood Hunter a lot. Imagine even a Codex going to work in this kind of a game, because you have a Blood Hunter that definitely does a lot of damage, and looking at the count level, he is going to have his Blood Sense triggered the moment you have a Codex on someone. That's it. Bottom lane though, level 5 each. Rally and Keeper, they are doing pretty good work so far, but Keeper a little bit of overextension on his part, trying to push down this tower. Here comes the Tempest, but Tempest doesn't have level 6 because of the poor start that he had in his early stages of this game. That's it. Thought's gonna be calling, and Merv needs to be really careful. What is she doing there? The stun's going out in full. She does get a tower, but that is gonna cost her life there. So at least the tower doesn't get denied, and it gets nicely pushed down, but at the cost of her life, plus the fact that it didn't go to her specifically, just the entire team. I wouldn't say it's a pure win for her.
Yeah, not at all. And the thing is that, well, mid lane.
A little bit extra engagement happening there, but definitely a lot of good work being done by Bubbles to just try and make sure that Bubbles is gonna be fine. And so far, very different from the first game. 6 minutes in and 1-1, only 2k goal lead for the Hellborn team as usual, but not as bad as the first one.
Yeah, and that hook again actually missed middle lane, and even then, if it did land, Bubbles used the quick take cover, so that's really good to see. But yeah, the whole bottom lane exchange was kind of unnecessary from Murph, but I think they just want to put even much more aggression. Oh, Tempest is actually gonna run into Keeper right here.
This could be big because Keeper doesn't have the root, Tempest doesn't have the root. Actually, not root, doesn't have the void, and both of them actually taking a little bit of an extra beating here. Definitely it's gonna have to be up to the Minotaur there, but meanwhile Emperor's gonna have to pay the price, and this seems like extra kill potential from the Bubbles. Parasite, a little bit of trouble there, but Bubbles doesn't have the mana. He may have the haste rune, but it's not gonna be a kill because Parasite does have the ability to hide in creeps. That take Keeper will be able to back away quickly, and 2-1 so far. KaiD having a little bit of results as compared to the first game.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, if you look at Keeper's build, he actually didn't go into any points into Nature's Veil, and that's a huge problem there. Seeing as to how there's a lot of physical damage coming up from this rally, and for Legion's side, like if they had that Puppet Master bottom at the start of the game, Keeper wouldn't have had the ability to just run in there and waltz through the bottom lane like with no issue at all. Like you saw her, sorry, actually just like sitting bot, auto attacking tower while running around, kiting the rally. That wouldn't have happened if that Puppet Master was bot. So again, the laning wise, I don't really agree with what Legion team went for. I think part of it was also because they were afraid of these
And it
parasite
seems
but
like
top lane.
Nova is not in the good spot. Seismic Slam going down. That's going to be a kill. And Nova pays the price. 3-1 so far. Close to 2k gold leads for Team Hellborn. Still ongoing. But Nox needs to show his face very soon. Don't forget that Blood Hunter is not as effective as a late game carry as he is in the early stages of this game. That said, I would definitely want to see a lot of ganking action coming up from the Blood Hunter.
Yeah, the problem with him now is that he's not level 6, so he can't really rotate
Mid
around.
lane.
And oh, middle
Parasite
lane.
invisible in the wall hunter trying to make something happen here, but is it gonna be enough? A little bit of a misplay coming from both sides there. It seems like the Kelfu is gonna lock them down, and they are gonna have to run away as quickly as possible. Emperor actually will have to force himself to trigger the stun. Here comes the rally compel. That's gonna connect on Prisoner 945, and it seems like Prisoner is gonna have to pop those ball charges just to make sure that he is gonna be okay. The pot's gonna come in, and the shell surf is gonna pick up the kill. A little bit of extra misplay again, but here comes the level 6 Blood Hunter looking for a kill. But it doesn't have any vision of those members there left. So that is completely regrettable. And really sad to see.
Yep, and Bubbles you see manning up right now because he has the rest of his support from his teammates at the back. I think he's just trying to bait out the Blood Hunter to use spells on him, and I know Nox being Nox, he's not gonna fall for such a small trick. But yeah, bottom lane actually Keeper of the Forest doesn't have any mana for root, so definitely will not be able to deny this tower unless he can micro this creeps really nicely. I think he's doing a pretty good job right now, but Tempest will have the mana ring up in a couple more seconds. So you can
There's a
actually use the
Parasite
Element of Void.
behind, and there goes the Puppet. Here comes the Parasite to pick up the kill on Tempest. Tempest still has got the space for the Element of Void. That's gonna happen there, and really big. Here comes the Bubbles. It's gonna be a double tap, and it seems like Band6 gonna have them up with a legendary streak. So far this game has just spiraled all the way in favor of a Team Legion already, and that's it. Band6 plays Bubbles doing a lot of work. They also managed to get a tower. That's really nice to see. A little extra backup there. Prisoner 945 behind. Can he land a hook on a fake Bubbles? That is up to him to decide, but it's still a fake Bubbles there, and he will fall for that.
Yeah, that's questionable decision by impunity.storm to actually try to deny that when they didn't even have a lot of heroes. Tempest had the mana for Element of Void. The Root, they didn't have mana for Root. Murph wasn't in the right positioning. Like, just taking that team fight was not favorable at all for them. So I don't know why they actually decided to try to, you know, deny that tower out or even try to remotely defend it. So that's just kind of a trade-off that they could have avoided had they just, you know, just avoided the team fight and maybe just used the keeper trees to deny the tower, so kind of a misplay on their part, but still nonetheless, it's not that much of a gold or XP lead just yet. Legion team is still doing a pretty good job though. It's already 7-1, so okay, maybe I'm kind of mistaken over there at that point. They're actually doing a really good job. Blood Hunter's forced to go for a Shrunken Head first item, and I think that's still very good for him.
Yeah, it is actually pretty good for him. That's it. However, 7-1 is just like the goddamn first game, where you all saw a complete steamroll in ImpS part. But this game is a little bit weird because now I am actually feeling the grasp the concept between both teams. It seems like whoever's on Legion's side will actually have got a pretty good game, and it is actually pretty ridiculous because you look at that 10 minutes in and it's exactly the same like the first game, but KaiD is having the lead, and it doesn't really make sense because the first game ImpS just completely steamrolled on them, and I thought that they are in a pretty good standing to win this series, but they decided to pick a Blood Hunter. They decided to go for a little bit of extra strategy there that may not actually work out. It's not the standard hack that Nox normally can play. It's a Blood Hunter there, and things are going to be a lot different. The stress is going to be on them to try and best the Puppet Master at the late stages if they do drag this beyond its prime. That's it also. You need to take a little bit extra look into the GPM here. And Bubbles is doing a lot of work, man. Bubbles on to this guy, Band6, is definitely a remarkable feat. It should be close to that of Keto's standard, but comparing plays like that when they are not playing together is a little bit hard to see, as well as the fact that both of them on those bubbles. Keto does have annihilation there, so looking for to see if Band6 can also match that kind of a streak.
I highly doubt that's gonna happen, but it could be a possibility. Uh, it could be. I actually want to take a little peek at Blood Hunter's build over here. He actually went for 4 levels into the Blood Sense, and that just means he wants to be much more aggressive and help out with, you know, spotting out enemies that are nearby, so that the rest of his teammates can just, you know, compile onto them and just destroy them easily. I still think that having more levels on the Blood Crazy is pretty good. Uh, because it prolongs the duration as well as the damage that a person takes. Yes, you're giving them much more base damage, but if you're picking one target off, what are they gonna do? Like you can't really like if you just like rotate nicely around, they won't be able to land enough auto attacks in, especially if the hero is a melee hero. So yeah, not too sure about that. I think it's also because he's going for that shrunken head first. So having the blood sense means he has the ability to just roam all around the map once he has that shrunken head up and just chase down heroes, cut them down with his fins and stuff like that. His next item should probably
Fins.
be a firebrand into a I don't know. It could even be Dawnbringer. For Blood Hunter, it's kind of iffy in terms of like what items to pick up. I still think that the what is it called the Mock of Brilliance is a nice one because it does add a lot of damage to him and ability to just burn creeps so they can just regen really really quickly. But that's more of like the farming route, I have to say.
Yeah, it is, and Nox, man, in this kind of a game, only about 400 GPM, very different from the first one, but don't forget Band 6 so far, playing very well as the Bubbles, and Legion side, the real carry being No Pants, No Cry, still a far cry from a successful Puppet Master, but I would definitely say that he definitely has got a little bit extra item there already, completing the Hungry Spirit. I would definitely say that he definitely has got extra potential going to the mid stages of this game, but they need to make sure that they get it together. So far, Bubbles is doing a lot of work trying to distract Team ImpunityStorm in the early stages of this game, and you have got the rally to work with. Rally needs the portal key. That is a need there. It's not a luxury item. Definitely with the portal key, a lot of extra engagement opportunities gonna unlock for the rally, and he needs to milk on those moments there. But that said, we don't know how Tempest is going to deal in this kind of a game because so far Tempest has got a really ridiculously poor farm. Look at that, 250 only GPM there. A pretty good Tempest should be having about 330 right now in this kind of a game, but it is not a kind of a situation. So Tempest very far behind. 900 gold in the bank. He does at least have the Ring of Sorcery done already, so that's not too bad. But looking for a quick portal key should be ideal in this kind of a matchup because don't forget, a keeper is going to be in the vicinity to try and lock down the Tempest, so needs to have to play a little bit of extra mind games here. That said, I would definitely love to see Astrolabe up as well on both the keeper as well as the Tempest. So comparing both of them, it seems like it's going to be a little bit of a tight spot here.
Yeah, and it just like the thing is like as a Tempest in the jungle which wasn't really contested, I don't think they even warded it out. Did you get
No,
to
they
see that?
didn't. There was no ward there except for Keeper. That was messing around in the Legion jungle for a little bit there, as you can nicely see in the previous engagement with the Minotaur there. But don't forget that that is a little bit of extra harassment only. There is no warded areas there. So the main failure of Tempest is because
Hmm.
of the tri-lane at the top that completely went out of control.
Yeah, I mean Tempest should actually have been able to pick up a lot of farm, even at least like yeah, like nice said, like 300 over because uncontested farm in his own jungle with no wards up. Yeah, that should actually translate to a quick 300 plus GPM and quick pushes as well. He'll probably even have his Astrolabe soon, but I mean, I'm not gonna harp on him too much because he did have a good ultimate bottom lane. Wouldn't say is that good, but mostly because of a misplace coming out from the Hellburn side. But yeah, at least he had the presence of mind to throw that out when he had the ability to. I definitely think he's gonna go for a quick Astrolabe, and Portal Key could be an option. Shrunken Head as well. Uh, it really depends on how well the keeper is doing. He can actually go for the Portal Key first if he chooses to do so, because if he's able to catch out a keeper with another hero, it could potentially mean that they're gonna die. Going for the Shrunken Head just means that yeah, if you pop it out of the keeper's root, you still have to worry about parasites, face hug. So there's a lot of things that can cancel out the Tempest right now.
There are, and don't forget that. Just one small little question. And don't forget, if Tempest has got a shrunken head, can it cancel? Can it be cancelled by the Parasite Ultimate?
Yes, it can. Yeah.
That's the thing there, and it's extra potential on Team Hellborn, and that's the main reason why Nova drafted the Parasite. It's gonna be a pretty perfect counter to the Tempest, but again, that's gonna have to build on this on the results from both members there. It's gonna have to build on the Tempest. It's gonna have to bank on as well the Parasite. So I think that it is going to be pretty questionable, and so far, Team Legion having a little bit of his latency problem. They will be able to fix the computer and come back quickly. So game is going to resume, and a little bit of overextension in terms of that pause, but I hope that's going to be fine. That's it. 5-5 still ongoing, and 7-1, and close to 2k goal lead for Team Legion. So it has spiraled very quickly. Previously it was about 1.2k goal lead for Team Hellborn, but it's quickly snowballed in the Legion's direction. So they need to be extra careful right now. Cannot make any extra mistakes coming from IMPS side.
Top lane though.
Yeah, a little bit of a gang happening, and there we go. The extra hemorrhage happening as well. But Parasite not able to stop it. This could be a pot away, and it is going to be wasted because there is no kill. And in fact, Bloodhunter already used both his skills there. I do believe that Blood Crazy was also being used as well. So Parasite really not the most effective stunner there, and it is ultimately going to boil down to the fact that against the Bloodhunter, definitely a Homecoming Stone is going to be the ultimate counter to that.
Yep, and that's what you get when you go for a Blood Hunter rather than something like a Hag, which can burst you down really.
And there goes the Calfield mid lane. Nova, a little bit of a questionable spot there, but the Kang is going to connect, and it seems like Prisoner is going to pop the regeneration rune. I do believe that he has got extra pull potential should he want to go in for the extra kill, but don't forget that here comes the Keeper, and Murph, a little bit of a tight spot so far, so all the skills from Team Legion can nicely unleash itself on Murph, and Murph is going to draw the attention to the a little bit of the Ancient stack camps there, but Murph is definitely a little bit of a tight spot, and no trees in that vicinity, so the Nature's Will is not going to keep her safe. She should have thought about that one first, but that's it, top lane. Here comes the Rally trying to pick up a kill on Blooded, and Nox is going to try and pot away, and this could be successful, so Nox is going to be fine. That's it. They have managed to secure the top lane tower. I do believe it was not denied. Yep, it wasn't, so that's it. Very nice to see. Thanks to one mana Impunity Storm, somehow a little bit of the extra. They are in a bad spot so far.
Yeah, the EXP lead is just going even much more in favor of Legion team, and that's really good for them because Tempest.
The hook so close. Could have caught hold of the Tempest, but here comes the Legion, and there goes the extra hemorrhage as well onto Tempest there, and the silence is gonna be the counter there, so definitely Tempest has got nothing in his bank life. He is going down. Prisoner is gonna pop the other quickly, and here comes the Minotaur stun. That's gonna be really effective. Prisoner is gonna pick up the kill on the MOA. That's gonna be a double tap for the Emperor. Really good to see that. However, Nox is a little bit of a tight spot. Bubbles looking for the extra kill potential. Even Engineer gonna force himself to pot off the quick energy fill, but is it gonna be effective? The Electra soccer ball is gonna hit on Nox. Nox actually overextended there just to make sure that he will be able to help the pick up the kill there. Definitely the silence is effective, so that somehow still worked out for the rest of his teammates there. And I wouldn't say that I completely agree with that, but at least they somehow managed to end the 7-6 streak coming from the bubble, so that is good news at least.
Yeah, I guess, but still, you don't really want to have your carry dying. If they get this tier 1 tower, then it's definitely worth it. But I don't think they're going to be able to. Yeah, they see the ports already coming in from Legion team, and the main problem in that previous team fight was the fact that Tempest didn't have his Elemental Void. That's why he didn't really stand his ground. Plus the fact that he was already silenced, and the silence was finally leveled up, so that's 7 seconds of lockdown on that Tempest. So that's another huge thing to bear in mind. Like if you get silenced for 7 seconds, you're just gonna be ultimately running around like a headless chicken. Can't do anything. It's just unfortunate they didn't have the Elemental Void up as well.
Yep, that's it. About 14 minutes gonna be up here. 10-4, and things are definitely looking good for Legion side, of course. But that's saying they are actually going in for the extra kill on the Emperor, and maybe this could be a mistake. Double damage on the Emperor. That would be a little bit scary to see. There is also the fortification being used already, and so far a little bit of that contest coming in from the Hellbourne side. But there is no one in the vicinity, so that's the tower is gonna get destroyed. Poke is gonna miss, unfortunately. So a little bit of a bad, I would say bad prediction there by Emperor, but still so far no butts were hurt in that kind of engagement, so pretty good.
Yep, and I think they are not even going to be able to do some chip damage here. I think Emperor just couldn't really gauge the distance of that hook. Either that or he just was just aiming for those minions so they can destroy them off because it wasn't a split just yet. But during that entire push over there, Murph was at least able to get some farm at the bottom lane. I don't know how much that's really going to translate, but at least it's farm nonetheless. Blood Hunter is sitting at 2k gold in the bank, so it will eventually get that shrunken hit soon enough. Would have actually gotten it a lot more quicker had he not given it the kill to Bubbles at the previous engagement.
Yep, that's the Invisible Parasite doing a lot of work this game. Bastom has been roaming ever since the dawn of this particular game here, game 2 that is. And we definitely love to see this kind of Parasites compared to one that only farms. So I would definitely say that Bastom is doing a pretty good job so far. But he needs to make sure that there are kills, and it is pretty hard to gauge that kind of a thing coming up because you've got Team Legion that has got just an awesome amount of escape mechanism there. You got Tempest, you got Bubbles there, and as well as Rally. So both of those heroes are pretty untouchable when it comes to the Blood Hunter.
Yeah, and I think a Codex is probably going to be in the works for Bastom. Either that or a straight up Color Sheep stick. It's not uncommon. It's more like a niche pick, and we've seen it from time to
They
time.
may want to pick up the kill at the top lane. Here it comes, the hemorrhage from the Bloodhunter. It could be now. There goes the silence. Also, there is no escape coming up from the rally. Maybe the energy field is going to be used as well, but the pod is going to happen, and that is complete waste there. Again, the pod is doing the work. So Nova should have saved the keg just to make sure that there is no pod. So a little bit of misplay coming from the engineer.
Yeah, actually, thought he was gonna save that. Like, just pop the energy field so that if he stays in there, yeah, he's gonna take even more damage. If he runs, he'll still take even much more damage. He had silence up on him, couldn't use the compel. Like, I don't really know the reasoning to why he decided to use that kick right off the bat. Yes, it's understandable that they want to get more, damage in, but rather save that for that portal, which he did the second time right now in this game. So if that happens again for another, like for the third time, I think they'll just be like, face palming themselves.
Yeah, they will be, and that's it. Parasite now gonna have to farm the jungle as usual, and he will be fine. Don't worry about that. Rally is gonna reprise the top lane, so but he does have the homecoming stone on cooldown, so that will be 10 seconds. If they want to pick up the kill, they can do so. But I do believe that there is no hemorrhage for the amount of time as well. So maybe no kill on the rally, but rally needs to be addressed. He's already at level 10, and Bubbles at level 12. So both of these heroes are looking really good from the Legion side. And help on team, they need to make sure that at least the heroes get a sufficient level. So far, Nox is not having a very good game in this. Sorry, not having a really good time in this kind of a game, because look at that, it's a Bloodhunter, only 380 GPM as compared to his usual 500. So I do believe that Nox needs to at least stay a little bit more focused, and he might actually want to go for the kill here on Rally again. And here comes the Prisoner looking for the Shackle there. It would be definitely effective, and so is the hook is going to connect as well. Hemorrhage being used as well. Rally, a little bit of a tight spot, but he's going to try and pot away. Maybe the Kek is going to be used for that time here, and it's going to mean a kill. Best Tom there will be able to pick it up with a Codex, so that is very respectable. That's it. Bubbles is going to have to turn tail and flee. And again, David Beckham is going to make his great escape. Meanwhile, down south, Murph, a little bit of a tight spot there, looking for a pot away. Dust is going to land, and unfortunately the pot is going to be cancelled, so it means that the puppet is going to be used as well. New Pentokar looking for the kill, and look at that, the invisible keeper doing a lot of work so far is still going to go down, because the dust is still has its effect there. So a little bit questionable to see that 11 is to 5, and Imperial Storm showing a little bit of a sign of life. What do you think about that?
I just think that, again, overextension from Murph. You don't have a ward nearby the the Legion's team's jungle, so shouldn't be that far out. Or if you wanted to be that far out, at least have a couple of like cheaper dogs to scout out any enemies coming out. They don't have any invis heroes, so they don't need to worry about that as much. Yeah, probably if they get that lucky invis rune, but the thing is they have like wards up to spot out the runes coming out from in this game. So just overextension coming out from Murph, I feel, and coming out from that Puppet Master, really questionable use of the Puppet Show instead of the Puppeteer's Hold on the Keeper just now, because there was nothing nearby that he was going to attack. And I don't really agree with the 4 points into Puppet Show right off the bat. I still feel like putting a couple of points into Puppeteer's Hold and Puppet Show together is just that much more of lockdown.
Yeah, it is, and that's it. A little bit questionable decision coming up from Team Legion's Puppet Master. But don't forget, he already has got an Assassin Shroud so far, and that's going to help him with the standard gankish kind of a position. It will also help make sure that he is pretty safe. But don't forget, there is a Bloodhunter on Team Hellborn, so Blood Sense is going to be pretty effective, and he needs to make sure that he is not triggering that Blood Sense effect. That's it. Here comes the Prisoner looking for a kill. Maybe the hook's gonna land on Rally, and it's not gonna hit quickly, but the Compel is in a little bit of questionable spot there. Kek is gonna miss completely, and that is really sad to see. That's it. However, 11 is to 5, and both teams doing a lot of work so far. Mid lane tier 2 challenge by Team Legion. Can the help on hold this in place? That's it. The Bubbles is actually taking a little bit of a risky route, but the Keeper's route is going on schedule, and the silence on the Rally Compel, so there is no Compel so far for the next few seconds. And here comes Engineer, completely invisible, but there is a Ward of Wrath there, so they know what's going on here, and they need to be really careful because Nova is completely spotted, but he doesn't know that. Again, the Nature's Veil is going to be used on him, so he is going to be fine, and no kill so far in the previous engagement. Parasite is invisible as well, but Ward of Wrath is just so nicely placed. That's it, a little bit of extra engagement coming in from Prisoner 945. Pots in with a nice little ultimate. That's going to be a Kodak and pick up the kill onto the Tempest. Tempest gets completely addressed. Puppeteer's Soul is going to be used on the Keeper. Keeper is going to struggle to try and run away. Rally's going to have to take the fall there. That's it. There is no more root on the Keeper, so a little bit questionable as to what he can really do. Prisoner looking for the kill onto the Master of Arms, but here comes the Bubbles. Is he going to be able to save that? That is, again, a little bit of an extra question. It seems that Bubbles is going to harass a little bit more on Prisoner 945, but no doubt it's going to be a kill on the MOA. Prisoner is going to have to pay the price, and Bubbles doing a lot of work in this kind of game here. Merv is definitely a little bit of a tight spot, but don't forget that there is no vision, and the Nature's Veil is going to be really useful. That's it. Engineer is just so close from death, but he is going to be fine.
Well played by impunity.storm. That was really well played by them, and a lot of miscommunication coming down from the Legion team. That focus fire was really bad. Like, they went for a Keeper of the Forest, already used Root instead of something else like a Parasite, Engineer, or even like the Prisoner 945. Prisoner 945 really clutch blink into that into the heroes coming out from the Legion team, and questionable from Tempest to actually stay next to him when he was already afflicted by the prison break rather than running away, because Master of Arms already used a charge shot on him. He had all the means to just run out of the prison break ultimate, so don't really agree with the decision over there. Got Codex right to the face as soon as he got the second latch or the second stun from the prison break over there. So kind of a questionable play by Tempest, but nevertheless, at least Impunity Storm gets a lot out of that engagement, and that's just gonna mean Legion team kind of throws away their advantage.
They did, and now it's gonna spiral in Hellborn's favor. 1.6k gold lead. Don't forget Tempest. He may already have the extra leap, but there is already a Codex up on Parasite, and I mean this is standard Parasite play. You know, once you have the other ingredients for the Codex, you're gonna have to break away your Ghostbusters just to make sure that you have the Codex as quickly as you can, and it is really effective. That's it. The extra stun onto the Tempest means that it's going to be a kill, and Tempest, therefore, in the kind of engagement, is a little bit of a bad positioning on his part as well. And in general, I mean, Legion team just didn't do really well. There was no communication, that kind of engagement. It was just completely meltdown there. Definitely, Bubbles did a little bit of redemption by killing the prisoner, but that is only a prisoner. Don't forget that Nox hasn't died in that kind of engagement, and he does have about 450 GPM right now. And that is, in fact, leading the entire chat for the whole game here. And I mean, Team Hellborn is in a pretty good spot so far.
Yeah, and Blood Hunter already has that shrunken hit, so that's why you saw his ability to just run around in team fights. It's really helping him a lot now, and I think his next couple of items should just be damage items, so they can quickly chop down this Legion team. And every time he kills a hero, he will get that feast effect on him, and that's a really huge effect. That's 60% of the hero's maximum health that he killed. So that's a really good ability to have on a Blood Hunter, and that just allows him to constantly, stay in the team fights, go from one target onto the next, as Jaws would kind of do it in the movie.
Yeah, that's correct. And tearing limb by limb. That definitely is the effect of the Blood Hunter in this kind of game. However, Blood Hunter is not hunting as much as I thought he should. Every single time you have got Hemorrhage off cooldown, you should be looking at the next hunt, playing this kind of a aggressive mid to early stage kind of a carry. That's a 21 minutes up already, and we're just nicely entering the mid game. And what is gonna happen here? There is a keeper that's doing pretty okay, but a little bit of the extra gang happening at top lane. Prison goes in for the kill again on the Tempest. Tempest gonna have to be silenced there. However, a little bit of the extra engagement coming from the bubbles, and it seems like Prison's gonna take the fall first, but Tempest heavily harassed by Nox. Nox gonna be able to pick that one kill without much of a trouble, and the rest of Legion member is gonna be able to reinforce him as well. That's it, soccer ball being kicked, and there goes the bubbles. He's going in. A little bit of extra pot happening as well. The quick pot away is going to make sure that there is no blood crazy used on that, and in general that's going to mean retreat from Team Hellborn, because they are all three just standing nicely near the tier 1 looking to defend it. But there are 4 members in his vicinity. There's also the Puppet Master. They need to be really careful about that one there. That's it. Parasite actually jumping on Bubbles straight away quickly, trying to make sure that Band 6 goes down, but the silence landing quickly on there as well. Rally is going to be fine, but a kill on that Blood Hunter is just really insane. New Pencil Cry did use his Puppet, Voodoo Puppet, just to make sure that the kill is possible.
That was a really good Voodoo Puppet. And then the Fork Lightning. The best thing is that he got bursted on so quickly because of the Fork Lightning, which hit both the hero and the Puppet because of the way that it works. And that's why it was really nice to see how it nicely lined up over there and pick up that nice kill onto that Blood Hunter, who, by the way, already used that Shrunken Head, and that's why he couldn't really, like, his decision to suddenly just go back into the team fight was probably not the best decision, since his Shrunken Head isn't cooldown. He's actually susceptible to a lot of damage. He's only sitting at 1.5k HP, so don't really agree with that decision. And the fact that Keeper of the Forest wasn't around with the root, instead just taking the middle lane tower there. They do at least get a tower out of that exchange, but I still think that Legion team, that aggression is what's gonna probably just keep them in this game.
Yeah, they are very aggressive, and that being said, so far no goal lead going for either side. This would be a really close game, and that said, it's gonna boil down to both the Tempest as well as the Keeper, who I do believe that Keeper has got slight advantage over the Tempest. That said, Tempest is only about 1.9k gold, definitely is gonna look for the quick portal key, but only the little red boots there. I don't think Go is gonna be the most mobile of heroes in this kind of a game.
Yeah, most probably. And engineer, by the way, although he's been like heavily on warding duty, he's doing a good job of at least making sure that his team doesn't get so far behind with lack of vision. So he's gonna run to massive arms.
Yup, and it's gonna pop the energy field. It's gonna be a imperfect catch there, but it's gonna be okay. MOA completely harassed there. Not able to run away because of the energy field. The electric fence there doing a lot of work, guarding him against a possible retreat route. That's it, however. Nupes no gonna be in the vicinity. They are also gonna let a war rep because they want to kill the puppet, and it is gonna be worth it there. So that's really nice to see. And I mean, so far, wow, what a big bubbles play there. The soccer ball just gonna kiss Nova's face there, and it seems like Nova is gonna have to pay the price of going down as well. 16 is to 12 so far. 24 minutes into this kind of a game, and Hellborn struggling to find whatever standing that they have.
Yeah, that was actually. I wouldn't say it's a misplay by Nova. It's
Here
just
comes Rally, and it seems like the kill on Parasite could be possible here. Rally is gonna be able to pick that one up quickly, or here comes the bubbles, and in fact he's gonna kill still that one. And even the element of void gonna be used here, but Murph is in a lot of trouble. Murph will not be able to run away, and that would be it. It's gonna be a double tap again for Ben 6, and Ben 6, man, he's my MVP for this kind of game, because look at that, 12 is to 1 is to 2 there. What kind of a streak does a bubbles have for that kind of a bubbles?
Yeah, it's good, but the thing is, they're not getting it on their carry, which is the Puppet Master. It will eventually get to a point where Hellborn teams is going to be really, really scary. Because they have a Prisoner, they have a Blood Hunter, they have that Root, which is Root on top of Parasite, which just cancels out the ability for a good Elemental Void. Or just going to make it really, really hard for him to pull that off. So it will eventually get to a point where, yeah, Bubbles is doing really great and all, but once he reaches the later stages of the game, it's still going to be difficult for them. He is working his way towards a Culture Sheep Stick, which I think is probably the best item for him to pick up next. But after that, I don't really see him getting more of like carry-ish items. They really need to rely on this Puppet Master, who is going to finally work towards his Shrunken Head.
Yeah, Bubbles completed the light there. I do believe that he is gonna go for the Grim of Power, and that is very deadly an item. And don't forget that Tempest already have the portal key so far. So I mean, Legion team looking really good so far, and Hellborn team, they are a little tad behind. But don't forget that Blood Hunter has got a Firebrand as well. So do take note that I do believe that in this kind of situation, it is already a oh wow. In fact, Searing Light already completed on the Blood Hunter, so that is gonna be a lot. Nox again working his magic so far in this kind of a game. And in the mid lane, it seems like Hemorrhage is going to be really effective on MOA. MOA is not like a rally, he's not tanky at all. And it seems like the kill is going out there. Bastom, however, is going to have to pick up that one.
Yeah, I think that would have been better if Nox just picked that up. Not sure why Bastom decided to do that. And about the Lightburn pickup, don't agree at all 100% with that item pickup. Even though Bubbles is like, you know, kind of like the killer in this team right now, the one that's really getting them in this game, carrying them so hard. I still think it's not the best item choice. You like having that extra CC item, especially against a Hellborn team like this, is so much more better. Like you hex down a Prisoner 945, you can easily run away from his prison break. You hex out a Keeper of the Forest, you get him out of the fight, not able to get the root, you burst someone down, that's even better for them. You hex out the Blood Hunter, he can't do shit, can't use the Shrunken Head, you can burst him down. Even though the rest of his teammates survive, they lose damage output. Same thing for Engineer, same thing for kind of like this Parasite as well. So there's a lot of targets that can be targeted from this, what do you call this, Culture Sheep Stick, but he decides to go for more of that carry-ish route, goes for Grim of Power, don't agree with it at all.
Yep, and he's going to have it completed already. That's it, 27 minutes in, 18 is to 13, and it could be anyone's game so far. Legion team doing a lot of work again, but don't forget that I mean, Puppet Master already have got a Shrunken Head completed, and that is going to help him a lot in the next few team fight, being magic immune, and that means the Hellborn team will not have the Codex to deal with that Puppet Master also. And that is really a really awesome pickup, I feel, because that definitely is going to help him against not just the Codex, but also I believe it's going to help him out of the Keeper's route, who doesn't have a the Keeper who doesn't have a Restoration Stone yet, so that's going to be really good. That's it, a little bit of extra engagement. And mid lane there, Peter 994 is going to go down. Bastom there with the usual sneaky play. It seems like he is zoned in right now, and zero in right now, and sorry, he's gonna have to take the fall.
Yeah, not a good trade at all. Parasite for Massive Arms, yeah, any other day of the week, and that slows down Parasite even more. He went for Codex Tree. I that like for me, I prefer just having that Codex leveled up to 2, and then you get something like a Portal Key or even like a Push Book, something much more the better for the rest of your teammates, like something that can help out. Like having that Portal Key means the Keeper is gonna go in with a good route, and then Parasite is just gonna cancel out Tempest when he tries to follow up. So again, questionable item pickups coming up from Hellburn team, and the Codex level 3 is probably because you know how the way that it doesn't work with items anymore. His third is passive, the Draining Venom, so he wants more burst damage there. But this team needs more like extra CC.
Yep, they do, and that's it. They don't have that completed just yet. There is also a portal key on Murph, so far Tempest and Keeper pretty tight, and even if you look at the GPM chart, sorry, it is about 270 on both of those heroes there. So that's really good to see. And Nova is definitely still very far behind, but being the water for his team, there's nothing to just really compare about. Definitely can tell that the map is pretty much nicely lit up, so they have the extra vision to work with. The only trouble is that, I mean, Hellbourne team, they have been avoiding team fights. They don't have what it takes to win a big team fight, and they need that. And Dawnbringer already completed on the Blood Hunter, and maybe if Murph goes in for a kill, it could be possible, but it is gonna be the Prisoner first, following which Murph goes down. 4-man lockdown, is it gonna be enough? Tempest picks Tempest takes the fall, it's gonna be really good, and Parasite is also gonna have to run into this Warlock to make sure he evades the Voodoo Puppet. That's gonna be good. Meanwhile, the dust is gonna be used to try and spot out the Puppet Master, who is dusted, and that is really good to see. And the flip side of this entire engagement, it seems like MOA and Bubbles is completely ignored, and the crit just coming out and dealing a lot of damage onto Prisoner 945. Shrunken it there, doing a lot of work. It seems like Nox is not able to carry that past the Puppet Master, and they are all just going down. And what a turnaround it is! Legion team doing a lot of work here, and Hellbourne team in a little bit of a tight spot so far. Only Parasite as well as Engineer is left, but Codex though is gonna pick up the carry, and that will make the trade completely worthwhile.
Yeah, that clutch. Oh, is he gonna get the kill? Oh, look at Bubbles, man.
Yeah, Bubbles going in. It's gonna be a silence Parasite, but Parasite is just standing there a little bit too long for my liking. He is able to jump in with the face hack. That would be able to end the dominating streak at least. But Nova is gonna pick that one up, and at least, I mean, it does contain the Bubbles. And if you ask me, trading a Parasite for Bubbles in this setting, I would definitely agree with that.
And that was, in my opinion, Legion team had a that was looking really worrying for Legion team, because Tempest, the Hellburn team did a really good job of focusing fire on the Tempest. He died before he could even use that Elemental Void. That's why you see it's still off cooldown. Sorry, they were winning the team fight. They overextended like Nox. That's the thing. Even though you're a Blood Hunter and you're fairly tanky now because of the Dawnbringer, you didn't have Shrunken Head. You shouldn't be chasing down the who was it, the Puppet Master. Puppet Master did so much damage to him with that Whiplash ability, survived. And then you saw the overextension from Legion team. Like, it was going back and forth. At the beginning I would say it was much more in favor of Legion team because they picked up so many kills, but it kind of evened out at the end because both supports survived and they lost the Bubbles to the Parasite. So that team fight kind of went both ways. Bottom lane though.
Yeah, Tempest gonna be challenger. Only a few seconds left on the Blood Crazy, but it seems like it is not good enough. Tempest is gonna have to pay the price there. He was actually looking for the space for the Elemental Void, but it doesn't seem to be possible because of Blood Crazy. That's it. However, Tempest should be looking for a Shrunken Head definitely is gonna help him a lot, and it seems like Parasite is gonna try and look for extra kill in the Legion jungle. There's a Rally in the vicinity, but Rally is very tankish, and I don't think that he's able to pick up Rally by himself.
And Tempest not using the Elemental Void bottom, even though if the Blood Crazy did run out, I think was probably the best choice, because you don't want to waste your Elemental Void when even none of your teammates are nearby. There's no way that they're gonna port there as quickly unless they're Bubbles, but Bubbles is gonna have to waste a substantial amount of spells and that Portal Key ability as well. So it's a good decision by him to just, you know, accept his death, accept his fate that he's gonna die. Hellburn team is actually gonna try to push bottom, and Legion team is actually confused as to what they want to do.
Yeah, Legion team completely confused right now. I mean, they have a pretty good setting so far. They are in a somewhat of a co-pilot seat, but it seems like they have lost the drive behind this game, and they are kind of like boxed in right now. And I mean, even Puppet Master has to relegate himself to the Hellborn jungle to try and pick up a little bit of a farm, and that is a huge statement because Hellborn side, all 5 members at this bottom lane tier 2 right now, and they are actually looking for the killer, but the silence on the Tempest though, and Tempest completely boxed out here. There's nothing you can really do. The Keeper's Root also going to be used here. It seems like Come Good is going to pay the price, and that could be a big turnout. But here comes the Puppet Master. Is he able to make a little bit of a miracle? That remains to be seen. It is not possible. It seems like Luke is going to pay the price there, and that's the rally. Puppet Master is going to be alive, but by himself it is going to be a little bit questionable. They already got that Dust of Revelation there completely being used there, and it seems like Prisoner 945 is able to pick up the kill, and Nox this time a little bit wiser. He is able to run away quickly. That is going to be good. That's it. The silence on the bubbles is going to be in full effect there, and that's going to cancel both the portal key as well as his shell self. So that is really good.
Yeah, that was a huge team fight from ImpunityStorm. Big misplays coming out from Legion team. Mainly the Tempest who portal keyed in. Good, like I gotta give huge props to Nox for being on the ball with that Blood Crazy. As soon as Tempest blinked in, he silenced him right off the bat. I think he had the Q activated already. I was just waiting for the target to, just waiting to click on the target. And Tempest just, showed up in front of his face. He silenced him, couldn't do anything after that, and the rest of that was history. Huge misplays there coming up from Legion team. Again, just throwing the lead much more into the favor of ImpunityStorm. So ImpunityStorm again now is looking very, very good because everything's in their favor right now. Portal Key even up on Engineer. They can even go for Kong if they wanted to, because there's no vision from Legion team to spot that out, and I actually feel that they should have taken that and just given it to Blood Hunter so that they can go ahead and push the next time around. They decided to do so.
Yep, Nova being really sneaky with the portal key play there. I do believe that no one on Team Legion actually knows that he has got that item completed already, but so far the warding are still pretty much good, and playing as a support, having the portal key is a huge statement there. Don't forget that being the engineer, it is going to mean so much more because the portal plus the energy field is going to deal a shit ton of damage. It will provide a lot of extra lockdown and confusion to the opponent's squad there. So that's really good. And from Legion side, I would say that Puppet Master's items are completely stagnating right now. They have the Shrunk Grenade already completed, plus the fact that the Assassin Shot, but that is about 10 minutes ago. And look at that, he also has got a Blast Off, but the Blast Off is going to mean that he should be looking at Okudra Shift Tech. That would be a very good item on the Puppet Master. That would provide extra lockdown, and it's the item that Goddamn Bubble should have had in the previous fight, but he decided to go for the Grimoire of Power, which as you can see wasn't very effective.
Yeah, and now he's gonna stray off the path. I think I saw Bubbles actually hold onto a Blessed Orb, and I think he maybe just sold it off and got it in a Mighty Blade, so don't agree with that because I still think Culver Ships is really prime on the Bubbles. You don't necessarily need that Shrunken Hit, but he has to get it in this kind of setting because he went for more of the right click auto attack build with the Grimoire of Power. So it actually forced him to a really bad spot because if he had that Culture Sheepstick, he could even have gone for something like the Hellflower, just having much more CC on
He's
the
the rally looking for the kill on Nox, but Nox is able to sidestep that with the Shrunken as well. It seems like, well, the energy field is going to nicely cancel away that debuff, so Rally doesn't have that anymore, but he is just nicely holding in. It's the Tempest, and Tempest, however, doesn't have the backup, so Tempest is going to pay the price. Rally going to have to take the fall, and Hellbound team looking to pursue matters onto the Legion side. Legion is going to have to pull back from that one there, so 2 is to nothing kind of exchange. Imperial Storm coming back really quickly. Do not Parasite was the one who canceled the Tempest ultimate, and that is huge play coming from Bastom.
Yeah, really good placement by him to stay behind. He just, quickly used the face hug on top of Codex. They're gonna get Kong out of this because they don't have vision, and they won a team fight. They don't have their rally. They don't have the Tempest. Tempest completely wasting that elemental void. He should have just been a little bit more, careful about the way that he was gonna use that. Be a little bit more conservative in terms of using it, and it's just unfortunate they don't have that anymore now to work with. So they shouldn't even try to contest this Kong because they're gonna get wiped out here if they decide to do
yeah,
so.
they are, and Parasite already infesting the Minotaur there. It's very good to see. Definitely, they can also take a little bit of the push right now because there is no Element of Void, but they are gonna play really safe. And Storm, they want this win so badly that they are not gonna extend, or rather overextend. That's a 8.5k goal lead for Team Hellborn and doing really good. The entire team, that is. They are very on the ball, and don't forget, Nox already at about 500 GPM. He also has got Brutalizer completed already, plus the Dawnbringer that was in his inventory a while ago. With that being said, I mean, things are definitely falling into place for Team Hellborn right now, but Legion's side, still a far cry from having most of their stuff completed. Tempest, he did have a 4-man hold there, but he needs to be really careful about the Parasite. And speaking about careful now, top lane needs to be really gentle, because if they overextend again, that's going to be a kill, and there is a Baunai on the MOA. They don't want to give that to the Hellborn side. So yep, they are going to be fine.
Yeah, and Parasite has Codex level 5 by the way, so he can easily chill that and not engineer that Master of Arms if he wants to, and it's just so much burst damage. I'm not sure what his next item is gonna be. Closure Shape Stick is pretty much fine in my opinion. Can even go for a what is it called? A Storm Spirit if you wanted to, but I don't think that's as necessary. Uh, Actually, it will be pretty good against this Puppet Master, I believe. I think he won't take the damage even though he attacks the Voodoo Puppet while you're flying there, so that's a good item pickup for him. Blood Hunter is gonna go for a Wing Bow, by the way, and there is nothing on the Legion team that they can do to actually purchase. Like there's no way they're gonna purchase a Savage Mace once he finishes up the Wing Bow, because he has a Brutalizer, a Wing Bow, Dawnbringer, and a Shrunken Head. It just means that he's gonna be much more fairly tankier because of the added armor and the evasion as well. They're not gonna be able to destroy this Blood Hunter right now.
Yep, and that's it. Mid lane Bloodhunter doing a lot of farm there as well. Level 22 already, and Legion team will be forced to take this next team fight. Element of Void's due about 20 seconds before it's going to be off cooldown. They need to be really careful, but Hellbourne team, they are on the ball so far. Looking for the extra push on the top lane right now with a little bit of extra spine capability from the Spider Mines. That's really good placement there by Nova, because in the later stage of this game, there is nothing really that the Spider Mine can do except to just be little sentry eggs there. So, Sentry Egg, that's right, that's it. We have Bubbles in the vicinity, and even the Puppet Master is gonna use the Voodoo Puppet on to Nox, but Nox is just completely nicely truncated, so don't worry about that. But here comes the big Hippo, and that's gonna be complete lockdown on Nupes Don't Cry, and it seems like Rally completely missing his Seismic Slam there. The hook from Prison 945 is gonna connect, however, so that is gonna mean a little bit extra harassment, but there is still no kill onto the Rally, so only Puppet Master taking the fall there, and that could be it. This could be for KaiD, man, because they don't have buyback on the PM there.
Yeah, they don't. And Puppet Master wasted his ultimate on the Shrunken Headed. Like like that initiation was completely useless. Like why would you even decide to try and go Blood Hunter when he has a Shrunken Head? That it kind of baffles me, the decision making coming up from Nupen's No Cry right now. He could have actually just saved that and it would have been in a good spot. Tempest had the element of void now. If Hellborn team decides to go in, they by all means can do so because there's now a Restoration Stone finished up on Keeper.
That's correct. Speaking of Puppet Master, he better read the tooltip. It does magical damage. It doesn't deal physical damage, so that is something that he should know already. But don't worry about that, because now Hellbourne team is in a limelight position to snatch this game away from KaiD. I mean, KaiD had this game so far in the early stages of this game, of this entire match here, where you can tell that Hellbourne team was just struggling to make ends meet. But now it's completely different. Geomid has been completed on Nupen Stoker. That's gonna be a complete well, escape mechanism coming out to just make sure that he will be able to escape away from the Keeper's double roots there, completed with the fact that he has got the Geometric Bane plus the Shrunken Head, so that is really good. But Bubbles is just a pure disappointment, man. He played fantastically well in the early stage of this game, but 15, 3, and 4, he opted for the Grimoire Power, and ever since that item completed, it was like just sliding down the entire slope there, and Bubbles band 6 not able to put forth extra feet on Team Hellbourne because they're all very tanky right now and they are already farmed up.
Yeah, and like because he didn't go for utility, he went for more carry route. There is no extra CC currently coming up from him. So and him being like the initiator or slash counter initiator on his team, he needs that extra CC so that he can lock down more heroes when he jumps in. Here we go.
Yep, it seems like he is just doing a little bit of extra taunt there. He should be okay, but the shock can really swim. And that's it. Humor's going to be used on Master of Arms instead of the Bubbles, and he is just going in for the skill, just completely dedicating himself here. He's going to be able to pick it up quickly, but trying to run away is going to be a question though. And here comes the Keeper Rune. That's going to be the first one. The Restoration Stone used already. It could be a second one as well. Waiting for the Potterkey to just nicely be off cooldown because before it pots in there. Meanwhile, Prisoner jumps in for an extra kill, but Band 6 there is able to go down. That's it. The second root is going to be on as scheduled there. A nice hook by Emperor, and that is going to be it. PM in a lot of trouble. PM going down, but Emperor Void a little tad too late. There is no cancel, but there is no damage, and even Parasite walking. Come on, man, you want to suck 4, just suck 5 there. A quad kill going out for Nox, and Nox doing a lot of work, and that's it. Happy birthday, and GG well played.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Whose birthday?
Happy birthday. Yeah, whose birthday is that? I mean, I'm wondering that as well, and yeah, that team fight couldn't have gone even much more better for impunity.storm. Really, really nice coming out from them. They played that really, really well. The way that their ultimates lined up, the huge man up and balls coming up from Nox to just dive that Master of Arms is really, really nice. And Good job to Infinity Storm for doing really well in that regard. They're gonna go for base tower at the bottom right now, and yeah, they can take this game right now. There's no way Legion team's gonna win.
Yep, sorry, a little bit obsessed with the chat right now. That being said, though, the all chat is pretty interesting. And Bastom, man, happy birthday to you. I hope you're able to hear this one out. That's a 23 to 31, and it's weird to do a little bit of shout out in the middle of a cast, I know, but 26k gold lead for Team Hellborn, and they are looking so good. That said, I mean, they have all it takes to win this game. Already the mid as well as the bottom have been rexed out and the considered vote being called. So this is gonna be a series that will go to Imperial Storm, and that is a heartiest congratulation on my part because they need as much win as possible and they make it possible. And again, a lot of naysayers are gonna say like, they just got lucky this time. But tomorrow against S2Y, that is gonna be big. And Lark, any last minute analysis before we take this off?
No, not really. Just that Impunity Storm played that really well. Can't take anything away from them. Just well played by Impunity Storm. Nothing to take away from KaiD. They actually had the ability to win this game, but they just kind of threw with diving and going for more of KDR farming.
Yep, and that is good. So that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, game 2 and 1 completed already. Impunity Storm will be a winner for tonight, and they are looking at the match tomorrow with beaming eyes. The good news is, I do believe that VN Sensation is going to land tomorrow in time for the match. It is going to be a little bit questionable because I know he flies today, and being in Asia, we are actually ahead. So I don't know, in terms of time zone, of course, ahead in terms of time zone. So that means I don't know if he is going to land on time, but if there is no delay, he should be able to do a pretty interesting kind of a match against S2Y, but he will be suffering from jet lag, and that is really nasty. So I hope that he is going to be fine. And Pure Storm will be looking forward for the match tomorrow against S2Y, so do stay tuned for that. Tomorrow 9 p.m. GMT, we're going to take the stream a little bit earlier. We're going to start at 4 p.m. with various games, and that is going to hold your attention all the way till 9 p.m. So I hope you guys will stay with us throughout. That's it. This is Babael and Lark. Any shoutouts?
Yeah, shoutouts to HTV crew. Big shoutouts to the people in chat for viewing as usual. Thank you for always supporting us. Do follow us if you like our casts and whatever fun games we have on the side, our little segments, so to speak. And huge shout out to all the players, and really big shout out to Bastomp. Apparently it's his birthday, so happy birthday to him.
Yeah, that is correct. So huge shout out to Bastom. Happy birthday. I'm sorry I forgot about it. Wasn't able to send you a present because you live in a different country, so that is really sad. That said, this is Babel, and with me is Lark, and I will do. Sorry, I forgot my own shout out. I'm also gonna shout out to my girlfriend, who fell asleep, as well as to the entire GTV crew for doing a really awesome job. Abstract for doing an extra effort for solo cast at HoNTourSEA. I do believe that it's off already, but he did a fantastic job. That's it. Also, Lark for being a fantastic co-caster.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And the rest of the members of the audience, thank you for tuning in today. We feature Impunity Storm, and it's good to see that there are viewers coming in as well. Tomorrow, it's going to be a pretty big game for them, and I hope that that is going to be that we will see a lot of extra people coming in to just tune in, to watch in, and to see how the match is going to develop there. That's it. This is Babel, and for the last time joining me is Lark. Not last time joining me, but yep, Lark is going to be here with me tomorrow as well. This is Babel, and Lark, gonna see you guys tomorrow. That's it. Goodbye.
See you guys.